One of my continual frustrations with the nature of group team meetings, and you'll see it happening live if you're watching right now, and if you're in the audience right now, is the silence that people seem to maintain within a group context. We have a room of 19 participants. Until I started speaking, no one has attempted to make small talk. And I want to talk about this as being a common challenge across companies because it persists in remote environments where perhaps there's some fearfulness around being the first to communicate. And where you have teams, would encourage you to have people break into small talk and to conversate. You'll often see that it'll be the marketing directors, the sales directors who'll chat and engage in banter. Sometimes they won't, sometimes they will, but it'll typically begin in those quadrants. But then outside of that, you'll be met with a very, very noisy silence. So I think that one of the things it's really important to have your team recognize that, and I'll say it to the audience now, in each of you not speaking, you only cause yourself to suffer. No one else. I don't lose, but you lose because it is your opportunity to build on fundamental skills of communication, which are a big part of it, of course, that I was asked about was relationship building. Relationship building happens via small talk. Small talk happens within audiences. This is an audience. You have always an opportunity to practice your art. And much like anything else, it's a muscle. And if you don't work on that muscle will forever remain atrophied or in a permanent state of entropy. So, for all of you who are working in distributed and remote teams, whether you're the manager or you're the leader or you're a person who's part of that group, just make that small effort to communicate. It's going to help you in ways that you don't realize. Number one, it's going to help you deal with the low level anxiety that comes with silences, because that's an anxiety that you contribute towards by being part of that silence. So face that fear because it will help. The worst that can happen is you say something that's slightly awkward, but then the moment passes. And it's really important to overcome that fear because there's power in overcoming fears like that. And if you're listening and you're part of those audiences where you join and there's silence, be that person who's got the skill and ability to withstand the unease of communicating in an audience where you're not quite sure what to say. It's a skill that will help you. It was a skill that will help you in the Slack rooms, the WhatsApp channels, the team meetings, the client facing meetings. You never want to be that person who attends a call and you're waiting for other decision makers to enter and you just remain silent because you give away your power or you demonstrate that you are someone who isn't one who's comfortable leading. So you speak volumes by not saying anything at all. And that only serves to lessen your contribution to the audience because they're not speaking. A decision's automatically made that, okay, this isn't the person who's here to lead or can lead or even should lead. So there's huge decisions that are made almost instantly in these voids. And your decision, because it's not indecision, your decision to not speak only serves to lessen the contribution that you wish to make in meetings. And if you're listening and you do that, don't fucking do it anymore because you lose. And in the world today where it's so noisy, there's so many channels, there's so much distraction, there's so much dilution of attention, it makes it all the more important to articulate your speaking voice, to articulate whatever it is you want to communicate. And the nature of how that begins is unstructured communication in group environments, such as the one that I'm talking to right now. We've now got 27 people that have joined since I started. There were 19, so there's another 8 that have come on. So for everyone who's here as part of this audience, and for anyone who listens, just think about that. Think about what you convey about yourself in silence. Thinking about you and the rooms that you've entered where you're met with a wall of silence, and think about what that doesn't imply. Does it imply there's a leader in the room? Does it imply there's people that are easy with communicating? Does it imply that there's someone who could reassure you? If it doesn't do any of those things, then it's your duty to change that perception that people might have of you. So there's huge power in doing something as seemingly inane as small talking because it's going to help and it's your opportunity to practice. So practice.